Good morning, folks. Well, this video all started off when I received a letter.
Dear John, I'm looking to change my car in the near future and I want to replace it with something that's well built, looks good and is really fast. However, I'm semi-retired, so my budget's a maximum of £10,000 or thereabouts. Can you help? Yours faithfully, Geoff.
Well, funny you should ask, Geoff, because I think I've got just the thing. It's a bit of a cold morning this morning, and I'm now at a company called Brookview Motors in Warwickshire in England, and bit of a hard place to find this. The sat nav took me to a place that was about a mile up the road, so I had a bit of a job finding it. But like all places that are quite hard to find, it's full of very interesting things. Now, the one thing I noticed when I got to Brookview was the selection of cars that they've got, and there seems to be a very big emphasis on German cars, German performance cars, which are a pretty good buy these days, I think. We've got the, for example, we've got a really nice here 6 Series BMW convertible. Next to that, we've got an M3 coupe, E92. Next to that, we've got an even nicer M3 E92 coupe. Really like the colour on that one. Next to that, we've got an Audi S3. And then as we go up a little bit further, we've got yet another BMW M3. This one is convertible in a manual gearbox. So the key thing here is all of these cars are typically over 4 years of age. They're fairly high mileage, but the thing is they're German, and German cars really just keep going and going and going in my experience. And if you've got a tight budget, I think you can't go far wrong by taking a look at some of these cars, and that's why I'm here today, because I'm going to take a look at the BMW M3. So here it is, the BMW M3 E46. Once the preferred choice of stockbrokers all over London, this car is now over 10 years old. And despite having over 100,000 miles on the clock, it still looks like it's only just come out of the showroom. And in today's modern car design era, it still doesn't look any bit out of place. So after 10 years of service to its previous owners, does the car still drive as good as it looks? Well, that's what we're here to find out. So let's just have a quick look at what we get. And it's absolutely amazing. We're getting the SMG paddle shift gearbox. Now, admittedly, it's not as good as the gearbox on the modern E92 models, but it still is a paddle shift gearbox for your money. I know a lot of people prefer the manual gearbox, but I'm a bit of a paddle shift gearbox enthusiast. Also, on the steering wheel here, you've got your stereo control, telephone connection. We've also got cruise control with resume and accelerate on the cruise. Look at that. And we've also got electric windows, both sides, front and rear. We've got the radio system, and you've even got touchscreen navigation as well. Sat nav built in. The Harman Kardon stereo system. So pretty good. Leather seats. We've got the seats here in black leather. We've got the M logo embossed in the seats. So yeah, really nice car, given that this car is a fraction of the price you would pay even for a normal daily driver. Okay guys, let's start it up. So there we go. I really do like on this car the way that the dashboard here on the rev counter lights up to indicate that you're going into the red line, and it also shows, if I remember correctly, that the temperature of the car is at the right level to allow to go up to certain rev points. That's what it's showing you there. Do you have to get used to the way this gearbox works? So what you've got to do is, in order to get into neutral and out of reverse, we're just pulling it back like so, taking it across. Okay, right, so we're now going to hit the ignition button. I just want to get my seat just right. It's going to turn the temperature down here in the car as well. It's quite warm, so I'm just going to get that temperature down. And it's all very traditional BMW stuff, and me being a BMW driver anyway, I'm finding this all very familiar. So let's see how she drives. Here we go. We're going to turn the ignition key. Oh yes, that does sound pretty good. Well, there's one thing for sure, straight from the off, that this car is definitely not lost any of its quality feel. As I'm driving it now and we're going along on a main road, it feels built to last. You would not believe that this is a car that's coming up for probably 20 years old. The build quality on these cars are so good that I could be driving any premium car worth 4 times as much as this. It really does feel solid, it feels really comfortable. Steering wheel feels really good. Yeah, it really does feel like you're driving something special. We're looking at a price of under £9,000. It feels fantastic, this car. So what am I getting? I'm getting a real classic, I believe, M3 3.2 litre. When it originally came out, over 330 brake horsepower. It's also capable of 0 to 60 in around 5 seconds, and a top speed of 155 miles an hour, and that's limited. So when you think about it, these BMW M3 E46 models are something of a bargain at this price, and the gear changes are a little bit slow, basically because it uses an actuator type gear change. So it's not like the DSG gearboxes that we're used to on modern cars, but it's still fun. Yes, now the thing I've noticed is when you do change gear, so for example when I flick those paddles there, it does take a little while for those gears to engage. So if you want a fast car, a really fast gear change, then the one to go for is the manual version of this, which I do know that Brookview, who are selling these cars, do have a couple of manual gearboxes available, so maybe that is the one to go for. Those people who know their BMWs will know that there is a special version of the M3, if it wasn't special enough, and that is called the BMW M3 CSL, and that version of this car is 110 kilos lighter than this one. And not only that, it's had uprated suspension, and it even has a track mode. There is just one problem. They're very hard to get hold of, and the cheapest one I could find when I last looked on the internet today was £50,000. It's worth noting as well that the brand new BMW M3 and the M4 in fact have gone back to the same dashboard finish as this particular model. What I mean is they've now got this light grey background on the dashboard. We've got a nice little windy road round here. Oh wow! I'm going to be a little naughty here. I'm only going to do this once. So we're going to get this car down into first gear. What I'm going to do, we've got a clear road here, so I'm just going to quickly accelerate and see what she goes like now the engine's warm. Here we go. Oh, look at that! Oh, that is fantastic. That is fantastic. Got to watch what I'm doing here, don't want to be breaking the speed limits, but we're on a lovely country road. Let's see what she can do. Oh my god! Let's just go again, here we go, down into third and... Well, not only does it sound great, it goes great. Yeah, it really does feel like you're driving something special. And that's because it is something special.
John, what you're saying is that it'll do 0 to 60 in 5 seconds.
Yep.
It's 300 brake horsepower.
Yeah, over
okay.
in fact. Yeah.
Over.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
More, yeah.
And it'll do 155 miles an hour.
Limited. Yes.
And it's well within my budget.
So what do you say?
He's not having one.
So I take it that's a no then.